Well, hey, good evening, everyone. This is State Representative Brad Halbrook, along with State Reps Chris Miller and Dan Calkins, as we go into another excursion in live stream mediocrity tonight. Hopefully, we're live, and hopefully, future demand. Anyhow, don't let this show tonight be an influence on your future viewing patterns if it doesn't meet your expectations tonight. So, with that, Chris Miller, chairman of the Illinois Freedom Caucus. Are we going to learn anything about truth, logic, and common sense tonight, Chris?
Well, as you know, this is the Illinois home of truth, logic, and common sense. And if you're interested in any of those three things, you have tuned in to the right channel this evening. You know, we're going to try to provide you with plenty of information to think about, and hopefully, after the next 15 or 20 minutes, you feel like that you have been enlightened, kind of like Moses coming off the mountain.
Exactly right. Representative Dan Calkins, Macon County. Hopefully you can hear us all right. It seems like we never get by without having some technical issues from someplace, somewhere, sometime. I know you're having a little volume trouble. Hopefully you can hear us okay. Dan, the floor is all yours.
Let me try something. I can barely hear you guys.
Okay.
No, that didn't work.
All right.
Oh, well.
Well,
here
Dan,
we are.
We can hear you fine. You're another defender of the truth. You're a defender of the truth and logic.
Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just getting old. Great to be here. Looking forward to this, Brad. I don't know whether I need to go out and come in or just hang in here and try to hear what's going on. I feel kind of like Chairman Chris Miller. You know, he only hears about a third of what you tell him, and he only does about 10% of that anyway. So
what
do I know?
On wife mode.
This is not too good. Why don't you guys carry on, Brad? I'm going to go out and come back.
Let's give that a try.
So let's just see what happens.
Excellent. All right. We'll let you go and then try to log back in, and hopefully it gets better, Dan. So while Dan's gone, we're going to talk about a couple of events that we got coming up and see if I can bring these up on the screen. And so the first event is going to be tomorrow night. Myself and Dan Calkins and Jed Davis from way up north, we're going to be doing this Pint and Politics for the Three-Headed Eagle at Geneva, Illinois, at the Copper Fox. Hopefully the viewers that are watching here tonight from that neighborhood knows where that is. Now, Chris, you're not going to be with us tomorrow. You're going to be, you've got some stuff going on, and we wish you and other members, but we know everybody's got busy schedules.
Yeah, I know that I am going to get a new knee tomorrow, which I'm very much looking forward to. So I'll quit hobbling around. And so,
right.
I hate to miss, especially going up to Geneva, Illinois. It's a beautiful place in the country up there, and I'm sure that you guys will either dazzle them with brains or baffle them with other things.
Exactly. Hey, the other event that we want to talk about here, if I got the right slide. Yeah, so we're going to be together. Oh, there we go. That changed on me. Let me change this. So, Chris, this may be an event that we'll have other members too. I'll put this on your calendar for the Rockford area, the Winnebago County Town Hall with the Freedom Caucus. John Cabello, state rep and leader John Cabello, will be our host for the day, and that's going to be on Saturday, August the 19th in beautiful Rockford, Illinois. And that was the event we had last Thursday night in Taylorville. And then Representative Calkins and I are going to have a local town hall in Mount Zion this coming Thursday night. So a lot of activities, Chris. We're trying to get out and talk to folks. We're going to give them kind of a sample here tonight of kind of what we're talking about. But I would encourage folks to come out to these local town halls and kind of visit with us and see what's going on. So anyhow,
they need to make sure that they come out to Thursday night to Mount Zion. That's right.
Yeah, Thursday night Mount Zion.
It's right there in your neck of the woods, and it's going to be a humdinger. That's my prediction.
Lots of things to talk about, for sure.
And your volume's better. Can you hear us better now, Dan?
Yes.
Excellent.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Right. Well, sometimes you just got to log in and out sometimes and do it again. So, all right. Well, Dan, we just talked about
depending
the
on
events.
depending on how this goes, I may log out again.
Don't everybody log out.
I
And
don't know. Everybody needs to join in. This is a great Tuesday night. A little bit of truth for everyone. Yeah. Thursday night is going to be, I think, a very, very informative town hall meeting. Lots of things happened over the last few months. More happening as a result of the last few months, and it's also give people an opportunity to ask questions, talk about issues that are important to them, and maybe even have some idea for good legislation. You know, some of the best legislation comes from our constituents.
exactly. So, Dan, 7 o'clock Thursday night, just 48 hours away, right? Is that my public school math working out? 48 hours away in Mount Zion?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We will
And-
text you.
At the convention center. So turn there at Causes and go down the road, and you'll run right into us.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'm sure a good time's going to be had by all, right? For everybody in attendance. So, yeah.
Complete confidence.
Yeah. So, guys, big news out of the big city in Illinois. Another Summer of Love 2.0 setting up, another mostly peaceful weekend, another mostly peaceful summer. Let me bring some slides up here and let's talk about this a little bit. Let's make sure I got the right. So, big bad weekend in Chicago. What do you guys make of all that?
Well, I have a gun ban up there, and so nobody's gonna shoot each other with the gun ban.
Right. And Pritzker's statewide gun ban on top of all of the terrible restrictions in the Cook County and Chicago proper. So JB's gun ban for all the rest of us has been enforced for 6 months now. So I'm shocked. I tell you, I'm just shocked.
Most of the people in Coles County own a gun, and I don't know that I read anything about anybody shooting anybody over the weekend. Even though it's really nice out.
And the really disappointing part, or one of the more disappointing parts of this week, was when Governor Pritzker and some other elected officials, including a congressman, started blaming the guns for this violence, which they always do. It's their MO. Anytime something happens, it's the gun's fault.
Right.
And all that really accomplishes is keeping us from addressing the real issues that exist. But I don't think they've got the scones. I don't think they have the real will to address the social issues, the societal issues, the education issues. We just want to put more money in it. We want to hire these peacekeepers, and we want to pass draconian laws to walk around so that not us, but that he can say he's done something.
Right.
So whatever it is he's done, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't working.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I know just from raising a whole bunch of kids is if the consequences are severe enough, that the behavior changes. And if the consequences aren't severe enough, the behavior never changes. It actually gets worse. And that's just truth, logic, and common sense. And anybody that's a parent out there knows that that's true. And so another thing too is that they act like, to me, this is not a big surprise, but it's a natural progression of what we have seen in this state and in this country since 1962, when they kicked God out of the public school system. And we've been on a downward spiral ever since then, because there used to be a sense of decency and common morality that was expressed through the church, through the Ten Commandments. All those things were may not overtly taught, but there was a measure of societal pressure to behave yourself, to live right, to do the right thing, to stay married, to don't go around killing each other, don't steal. I mean, all the things that are taught in the Big Ten, we've kicked them out of our culture, and this is a natural downward progression of where society can shrink to without a plumb line and actually without a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Third generation of it, Chris. We're in the
And
third.
so,
I mean, this has been that, and it's been gone so long, and our I think the morals of our country have gotten so bad that this shocks us. Okay, this behavior shocks normal people,
yeah.
but it doesn't seem to shock them.
Right.
It doesn't seem to shock the people that are involved, the people that are doing it. It's like, I don't know. It bothers us. I mean, it bothers all of us, but yet nobody that's involved in this wants to fix it.
Right. Well, they just want to continue to
I
throw
don't
more
understand.
money.
Mhm. Yeah, money's not going to fix
Yeah.
this problem, and you know, the cultural decline. I'm not. I mean, that because we hit on it, a real war on the truth in our culture. Because there, I mean, when you think about it, there's a war on physics. There's a war on I'm trying to on earth science. There's a war on there's a want us to believe things that we know are not true, because we have learned we've learned that science is true and that our observation dictates our conclusion. We have that earth science biology is true. We understand physics is true. It's just like you know, the attack on inanimate objects doing things without somebody running the show. And it's a, you know, they want us to deny all these things that we know over time historically have been accepted norms, and so that's where the war is on the fundamental things that make us a civil society.
Right. So, guys, a week ago, we were told that if we're not from, I'm going to just get this quote right. I believe this was Mayor Johnson. If you don't live in Chicago, you don't have the right to talk about the city. And they continue to virtue signal all the great things that they're trying to get accomplished. And then we see headlines like this that the Wire Points put out late last week. Mayor Johnson's first 30 days of mayor, crime is up a whopping 38%. Every category from 5 to 153% increase. The only statistic that was down, and this is stunning, was murder, was down from 59 murders to 56 murders. So a 5% drop in the murder rate.
Wow.
That was before last weekend.
Correct. This was up to June 11th. So that was before weekend, or before last weekend. Yes. And the other thing that's kind of stunning here, guys, is the, I want to make sure I got it right. Youth homicides more than doubled in the mayor's first month in office.
Wow. It's just incredibly shocking.
Well, I think the criminals paid close attention to the mayoral campaign. And when their guy got elected, they knew that it just green-lighted this anti-police, anti-incarceration mindset in the city of Chicago. I mean, people, watch the news or pay attention to what's going on, and they know who Mayor Johnson is and what his platform was and how he said he was going to govern that city. So, what the heck?
It'll be interesting to see how the Democrat convention turns out.
No,
That'll be
I don't.
that'll be pretty interesting. Are we gonna deploy the entire Illinois National Guard?
Right.
I don't
So-
know.
So the summer of 2024, I suppose that'll be a July or August date. What, just about 13 months from now, the National Democrat Convention comes to the city of Chicago. Is that official going to happen, or
Yes,
I
that
think
is
so.
official?
Yeah,
bought and paid for.
yeah. Bought and paid for by yours truly.
Yeah, our dear
Hey-
governor.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's go to the next slide here. I guess we just need to kind of make sure, we're kind of questioning what is Mayor Johnson's plan to save the city. He underfunds the police department, raises more taxes. This is not a winning combination, and the numbers early on are proven disastrous for the new mayor.
That's page 1 on the Democrat playbook: to tax, borrow, spend, regulate until
Right.
make it almost impossible to sustain any kind of business culture or climate in the city.
Right. So here's kind of another remarkable item that in 3 weeks, from the end of May to the 1st of June, 3 weeks, Illinois issues made the Wall Street Journal. Now, many would say that the Wall Street Journal is kind of the paper of record for the nation, right? I mean, it's kind of unquestionable, but
Yeah.
look at these headlines, guys. I mean, it's just stunning.
It is stunning. I mean,
At least,
we have to be the laughing stock of the entire world and definitely our nation, when they see things like this.
well, and this certainly goes against the notion that there's no such thing as bad publicity. At least they spelled our name right. I
Yeah.
mean, this is terrible. It's terrible publicity. It is, I think, is going to have, and I think it's already had a chilling effect on new companies coming here or keeping some of the corporations and jobs from leaving.
Yeah.
People aren't going to stand for it. Chicago is, I think, in a downward spiral, unfortunately. We love Chicago. We did. We go up to Chicago every month or so.
Right.
And thoroughly enjoyed our time up there. The theater, the restaurants, the shopping, the galleries, the museums. I'm not in any hurry to go back, and I know my wife isn't. We are watching the decline of Illinois, and the Democrats. I guess here we go. So the Democrats have always told us that downstate can't live without Chicago. We've heard all that. You can't live without us. We're the economic generator. We're the powerhouse. We're the driver of the state of Illinois. Well, maybe that they're going to drive us right into a ditch.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that Mary and I were up in the city a couple of weeks ago, and we were driving along Michigan Avenue, and I actually let Mary to get out to go return some things to, I don't even know what store it was, but anyway, I'm just sitting there people watching, and it was almost like a freak show. I just couldn't. I was, because I'm used to living in downstate Illinois where, people are pretty normal, and man, oh man, it was like,
It's
God,
different. It's different.
It's a lot different.
Yeah. So May 24th, Chicago self-destruction plan, but they want the money first, right? They want the bailouts from the feds. They want the bailouts from Springfield. But yet we see now here just a couple of weeks later that it's just continuing to careen out of control. The scholarship scandal, the Invest in Kids program was not renewed, or the sunset removed, or lengthened out, and we find out that the leaders of the Democrat caucus got hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars from the teachers unions. It's no wonder, right? The special interests run Springfield.
Yeah.
And then this June 7th headline, Dan, I think you've commented on this a lot here the last few days about You've got, if you have a legal matter, you can only file if it's of constitutional nature. You can only file in Sangamon and Cook County if you have a suit against of a constitutional nature. Do I have that right?
That's the Jay Hoffman bill in the House. It is. First of all, and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm only repeating what two other lawyers have said. And two very competent lawyers have said, and there may be more, that this law is blatantly unconstitutional. Our Constitution says that a citizen has the right to redress at the local level, at their county court. They are not to be forced to drive hundreds of miles to retain a lawyer that doesn't come from their community and go to a court that is terribly inconvenient. And I mean, I'm not criticizing the Sangamon County Court or the Cook County Court. They're not equipped to handle this. They've got their hands full. How long does it take you to get to trial? How long does it take you to get something done in these courts? And I can tell you from personal experience here in Macon County with our lawsuit, it took months. And if I had to drive 250 miles, or my attorney was 250 miles away, so I had to hire, because you want to hire an attorney, close to the courthouse, so that when it's time to, go to trial or whatever, have a hearing, that your attorney is present. And you're not paying him to, whatever his hourly rate is, to drive back and forth to Springfield or Chicago. I'll say it again, and I'm sure I'll hear about it. Jay Hoffman knows better.
All right.
Jay Hoffman is an attorney. He's not incompetent. He knows better. So the question is, Jay, why did you run this bill?
Right.
Why did you allow yourself to be used as a pawn in this battle, in this constitutional, I think, egregious assault on the third branch of government, a co-equal branch of government? So I hope somebody's listening. Send a copy of this to Representative Jay Hoffman. You owe us, because now maybe it's because now we got to hire more lawyers to fight it, and he's just making work for his trade. I don't know.
Well, some of these bills could be subtitled the Attorney Full Employment Plan, because there, of course, people, we talk about this all spring this year about, hey, that's unconstitutional. Well, my understanding of it is that when laws are passed and signed, they're considered constitutional unless they're challenged. Well, okay, so whoever runs out of money first is kind of the loser in this deal, right? Or who runs out of patience or whatever. But yeah, the Democrats, the majority party, doesn't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the rule of law, and they'll just see in court. They don't care. It's unfortunate for the citizens of Illinois that this is the way they want to govern.
Yep.
Well, you know what they say, follow the money and you'll find the answer. And I would guess that if you given enough time, you'll be able to see what happens with Hoffman's little political campaign fund that he has. And I'm guessing that it will grow miraculously by by somebody contributing to this. I mean, it's just like the Invest in Kids Act. The Cullerton got $1 million. Chris Welsh got $1 million. The Illinois Republican leadership got close to $750,000. And so, I guess we know why it all failed, is because they were bought and paid for, unfortunately. Right.
Hey guys, in the sense of time here, let's bring up, you talked about money. This is money kind of a different category. This is as a result of the 2019 20 fees and tax increases of May 2019. A year ago, this time, the governor had got through the General Assembly to push the normal annual July inflationary tax increase that was to hit last July. He pushed it off to January 1st. and in just a week and a half, we get the normal one. So, guys, we're going to get 2 gas tax increases this year.
Wow.
Gas and diesel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's coming. It will be, I think, a total of, it's over 6 cents a gallon just this year.
Yeah.
And just since the first of the year, when the first 3 cents went on, and then another 3 cents goes on July 1st. This is, and I don't have the number in front of me, and I will here soon, but, and I can't read your deal. Does it tell everybody how much in Illinois taxes we pay?
No,
40 cents a gallon.
70 cents or 78 cents a gallon or something.
well, I think when you consider all the taxes, but currently this motor fuel tax is 42.3, set to go up another 4, 5, 6 cents here July the 1st. That's going to make us the 4th highest in the nation.
Then you've got you have the 5% sales tax on top of that.
Right.
The alarming number is it was 19 cents a gallon in 2019.
When we all started.
Yeah.
When we all started, the gas tax was 19 cents a gallon.
Right.
I know that my son and I delivered a bull to Texas here a few months ago, and there was a $1 difference in buying diesel fuel in Arkansas and Missouri and buying it in Illinois. At that time, this is before the latest increase, and I would guess that all of our border states are just licking their chops because all those people that live on the river are going across the river to buy gas.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've said it before. You guys may have said this, about these things like this, and that Illinois is the greatest economic development tool a neighboring state can have.
Absolutely.
Our government is number one in driving business to our neighboring states. There's no question.
Right.
Yeah, it used to be thank you, Mike Madigan, but now it can be thank you, J.B. Pritzker.
It's just bad government.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let's just pull up our last slide here. This is kind of talking about the spring session shenanigans that went on. Guys, this was just, again, stunning. They would call session for 11 o'clock or noon. And, of course, we started moments after that, right?
Hey, we believe in punishing the prompt,
Yeah. That's good.
Well, I would say this spring brought a new definition to the level of punishing the prompt. I mean, there was times an hour late, maybe more. And, and then there's times when they might go into caucus. I mean, I think during lame duck and last fall, wasn't it? We might get there. It's supposed to start at noon or 11 or noon. They maybe have a little bit, start late, go to caucus for 2-3 hours. It might be 5, 6 o'clock sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
So, we've been out doing these town halls, guys, and people ask, they say, hey, can we come to Springfield and see what's going on?
Please do.
Please do.
Yeah, come along. Heck, we might even buy lunch.
Yeah. I encourage them to come up because it's unbelievable what goes on in Springfield. Nobody would believe it until they've been there. And the people, I know my visitors that have come in the past, and most of this was prior to the coronavirus in March of 2020, but they would go away a changed person. They couldn't believe it. I mean, they think it's a horizontal ant farm with all the scurrying going on and all the noise. It's like, how does anything get done in this state?
Well, it's a complete illusion that these are the best and brightest.
We may better pull it off there. So, Dan, we're going to be together tomorrow night in Geneva, along with our friend and colleague, Jed Davis, and Colin Mosley, our state director. As we close out, any closing thoughts about tomorrow night? And Thursday night, you and I will be together in Mount Zion at 7 o'clock. Looking forward to both of those great events.
It's going to be a good week for the Freedom Caucus for sure. And You know, we've been on the news quite frequently. Yesterday, Jed Davis and I were on the local ABC, local news a couple of times yesterday. People, that are interested in government, people that are interested in the process, are starting to understand what the Freedom Caucus stands for and what we're doing, and our accessibility. We don't turn down an interview. We don't run from a subject. If there's something that the voters, people of the state ought to know, ask, and we'll give you our best version of it. And maybe that'll start people on a quest to verify, which is good. It'll get them involved in what we're doing. But this is been a great year. So for us, it's and I think we've had some successes, Brad, as we'll talk about over the next two nights, and where the voters don't necessarily see our success, right? But yet, how things go in committee, what bills don't get called because of the pushback that we've put up against them. Doesn't mean we still won't see them, but as you've talked about in the past couple of weeks, the two biggest bills we didn't see was ranked choice voting and assisted suicide. Two bills that we pushed back very, very hard on, and the Democrats did not call them for a vote. So, the ranked choice voting, that one we got scaled back to a study group.
Yep, task force.
There's going to be another, and I think that's task force 9,212. That just brings that to mind. I think every task force should have a number, just like every bill has a number. I think every task force should be assigned a number so that we, the people, can keep track of all of these task force. And you can't reuse a number. When task force 342 goes away, you can't go back and reuse that number. You got to go to the next highest number in the list.
Make them chronological so we can see where we're at.
Yeah, I think people should know that. And I think it would be easier for us to keep track of these task forces.
Right.
Because there's going to be a list of them, a whole chronological list of every task force that's in place or has been disbanded.
Yeah.
Well, the Democrats like to create all these deserts, right? Healthcare deserts, childcare deserts, food deserts, XYZ, name your desert. The Democrats love to create those, but there is no desert of task force in the state of Illinois.
Yeah. This is an oasis for task force.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. So, Chris, I had something I was going to kick it over to you, and I got lost in the fun and
Sorry.
Well, one thing about tomorrow night is they do have a call-in number, so if they give me some good medication, and they don't take my phone, they've been threatening to take my phone away from me until I get through the first few days of this. So,
well, I'm hoping that one of your family members will live stream when you come out of the anesthesia. That's what I'm hoping.
Oh yeah. Now they were fighting to see who could drive me home because they knew it would be extremely entertaining. They're the ones that you have their phone taken away from them.
Oh man. Well, it'll be good.
Well, hey,
we'll
guys,
be thinking about you tomorrow, Chris.
Yeah. It'll be. I'm sure you're going to be. I'm sure it's a difficult day, but the results hopefully will have a happy ending, and you'll be walking better and be less pain.
Upstairs again with you guys.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly.
That's the goal. That is the goal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In October.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up. I'm going to hit the out video and we'll talk to you real soon. Hope to see you tomorrow night or Thursday, everybody. Talk soon.
Okay.